Hey everybody, welcome. This is Dr. Mark Arcuri in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and as you can see, I'm at home today, finishing up a great day at home. I just love to be at home. Those of you who know me well know that I'll give anything to spend a day at home, and I'm really enjoying this. I just came back after 3 weeks in Mexico, and a wonderful time there, of course. But today I've got the opportunity to work at home and to be here, and to just sort of be casual and have my unstructured day, which I love. But I wanted to take the opportunity to talk a little bit this evening about my process in Mexico and what's been happening since then. If you've been following the past several days on social media, you've probably seen a couple of videos I put up about the what are they called? Fire and brimstone that I came home to after Mexico. Just all of these transformational challenges, I guess I'll say, just consumed me to the point where I just felt like I was exploding. And one of the pictures that I posted on social media over the last week was of a volcano in Mexico, which I cannot pronounce, but it's Popo for short, P-O-P-O, outside of Mexico City, that recently, actually, when I was in Mexico, was erupting, but typically it is smoking, and the pictures that I posted from a couple of years ago show that smoke. But that's exactly what I felt like. But it was all for a really, really good reason. And that probably doesn't surprise you, because I know lots of you are like-minded, and the challenges that we face in our life are just absolutely opportunities for transformation. If we take them, we don't have to take them, but when we do, we are rewarded beyond our wildest dreams. So what happened with me was that some dots began to connect. And that was the most fascinating part of it for me. You might have seen a picture out on social media of me on the stage at Jose Cuervo answering some questions a few weeks ago in Tequila, Mexico. And that was such a fun experience to be up on that stage and to be feeling like, this international event was happening and taking it in and being in that moment was such great fun. And I posted at least one picture of that, and so much fun. So that was kind of a moment in time and a picture. We did lots of, my friend Victor took lots of promotional pictures of me when we were in Tequila that we'll be using over time for various things. Hundreds of pictures that probably half of them are no good, but half of them are. And but that was one of them. So we got that picture, and it connected me with that energy of workshops and presenting and being with people and sharing that time with them and having a conversation. And then we put that aside, and the rest of the week ensued, and eventually came back to New Mexico, where I live, my home base. And all this stuff came up, as I was beginning to say, and really challenging me to think through my own process and understand what was going on in my life and in my work, and what direction I wanted it to go, and how to move forward without being too bound by the past. I mentioned in one of the videos this weekend that we really have to find a way to move forward from where we are, that the past really, in most ways, is irrelevant, no matter how wonderful or how not so wonderful it might have been. It's really not the point at this moment. This moment is about what's coming next, and how we can frame that with the law of attraction and attract exactly the moment that we want to as we move forward. So I decided to work on a process, practice what I preach, right? So the book of positive intentions that I have, or book of positive aspects, I should say, that's available for free on the website at drmarkacuri.com, on the resources, and then the free downloads page. So click on resources at drmarkacuri.com, and then click on the free downloads page, and you'll see this book of positive aspects. So I decided to pull it out and to do a couple of sheets for two different things that are going on in my life right now that I was having a little bit of trouble negotiating through, and wanted to be sure that I was staying on focus with the positive aspects of those journeys, commitments that I had made, whatever you want to call it, and letting that positive energy carry forward as I moved on with these commitments. And it was a wonderful experience, and I highly recommend it if you haven't done that, the Book of Positive Aspects, which is something that I've drawn from Abraham. So do it. Download the free download, put in your email address, and get it. So, but as I worked through the process, I sat there and I made my list of positive aspects about situation A, for example. And as I finished, it wasn't difficult. I came up with, on the first one, 14 different positive aspects, even though I was feeling kind of negative towards it. And then on the other one, 15 positive aspects. Very simple. But when I finished each of them, I felt like there was something missing. I didn't quite know what to do with the process after that. So I know that the positive aspects process can be extremely, extremely powerful on its own. I've used it many times, and it always results in great changes that I need to see happen. But there was something that just felt like I needed more in that moment. So what I did was I took a few more minutes and kept my list, but I flipped over the page and I asked my inner being what it thought about the situation that I was in. And I didn't get into a conversation with my inner being, which I've recommended doing before sometimes, having that kind of conversation with a wisdom figure. But in this case, I just sat and listened to what the answers were, and I just wrote them down without even thinking about it. I just wrote down these responses I got from my inner wisdom, and it turned out for both of them, I got close to a half page of just writing, statements, words, whatever came out, I just wrote them down, and it was incredibly, incredibly powerful. So once I did that, I was inspired to modify this book of positive aspects and include that second part to the exercise in the positive aspect list that I ask you to put together if you're using that book. So now what I did was I modified it, I re-uploaded it, and if you download it now, and if you've downloaded it before, do it again, because it's modified now. So you've got the opportunity to take a sheet of paper that's in the book and create your positive aspect list for whatever it is that you're dealing with, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, an idea that you're fighting with in your mind, whatever it may be. You've got the opportunity to list all of the positive aspects, just like I've done before, and many of you have done before as well. But now I ask you to flip over that page and very simply sit for a few minutes and listen to your inner being's guidance about that situation. And then you take the list of positive aspects and you take whatever you've written down as your guidance from your inner being, and that's what you meditate on. And when I say meditate, just read over once a day, and let that total picture guide you as you put the energy out towards whatever it is that you're dealing with. It's been incredibly powerful. And in my own life, what happened this week was kind of fascinating. So I had this idea on Sunday, and then Monday morning I woke up and I modified the Book of Positive Aspects, re-uploaded it to the free downloads page on the website at drmarcuri.com so that you can get it there. But in the process of doing that, I had this thought. I was going to a meeting, actually it was Tuesday morning, I guess, that I did that, and I was going to a meeting down in Albuquerque, so like an 80-mile drive, and it was 7 in the morning, so I was leaving at 5:30 in the morning. And something told me to print out a couple of copies of this Book of Positive Aspects and just take them with me in my bag that I take when I do clinical work outside of the house. And I didn't know why. I've never done that before, but I always have a really thick folder of sheets and papers and extra things that I need, because once I leave Santa Fe, if I go down to Albuquerque to do the work, if I don't have something with me that I need, I'm kind of stuck. It's far away. Can't go get it. So something told me to put this in my bag, and I decided to do that. And I printed out 2 copies while I took a shower, and rushing around, I put the bag in my car, and I realized I hadn't put these booklets in there. So I took them and I threw them on the front seat of the car, and that's where they stayed. So I was driving down to Albuquerque. Eventually the sun came up. It got light out. I looked over at the book, and I saw the cover, of course, and I saw this quote that I had written when I first created the book and put it up on the website initially several months ago. And the quote that I wrote, first of all, it's a picture of Carlos and myself in Rome, in shadows. And basically what I did in that moment was we were doing whatever we were doing, and I put my phone down and I took a picture of the sidewalk of our shadows. And the quote that I wrote on this picture when I put this picture up on I think on social media back then, and then eventually on the cover of this booklet, I wrote, "All we can ever wish for will be found right before us in the shadows of life. All we can ever wish for will be found right before us in the shadows of life. And when I thought about that, it just jumped out at me as I was driving down I-25 here between Santa Fe and Albuquerque, 80 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour at least. Speed limit 75. So, but what jumped out at me was, oh my God, that quote. All we can ever wish for will be found right before us in the shadows of life. What are the shadows of life? The shadows of life are the challenges, the drugs, the muck, the difficulties that we have, the feeling like we're being torn apart, and so many of the things that I've been going through in the past couple of weeks since I came back from Mexico, just feeling absolutely torn down and confident that on the other side of that would be something that was really important, but nonetheless it was tough. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, except I know how important it is in the bigger picture. But anyway, that those are the shadows of life, and everything that we could ever wish for are going to be found in those shadows. And in the opportunity to move out of that and to move to a place where you're completely transformed. And what I decided in that moment was I am putting together a workshop that begins with that premise. And the theme of the workshop is going to be all we can ever wish for will be found right before us in the shadows of life. I felt incredibly inspired in that moment yesterday to do that, and I am going to do that, and that workshop is going to take place once we get it all planned out. I'm intending for it to happen in June. I'm intending for it to be local here in the Santa Fe and or Albuquerque area, and then we'll see what we can do with it to take it to more people, either on the road or through online videos, e-course, whatever. But that's going to unfold as it goes. One of the things that I talked about in a video on Sunday that I put up on Facebook, actually, at facebook.com/Dr. Mark Arcuri, was this idea of transforming and transcending to a higher place, and how our inner being, when we have the dialogue that we're asking, not the dialogue, but listening to our inner being and listening to what its advice is, that it often doesn't give us every single step that we need going forward. It gives us what we need in that moment, and then we'll get the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step as we go. So likewise with this workshop development, I've made the commitment absolutely to put this together for you guys. We're going to do it. My intention is that the first launch of that will be a local live event here in Santa Fe, Albuquerque area. But what's going to happen after that from it, I don't know. I'm going to wait for inner guidance, my inner being to let me know what the next steps are as we go along in the process. So Carlos and I will be working on that. I told him about it this morning. He quite wasn't sure what to think. His comment was, let me think about it. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it no matter what. But I wanted to share that with you tonight. I wanted to share with you this idea that no matter what you're going through right now, and I know that some of you are because I hear from you, I see the comments on social media, but I also get some emails that things are pretty tough in some ways for a lot of people out there. And I want to tell you that no matter what that is, there's an opportunity to look at it and to grow from it, to become transformed through it. But the challenge is that we need to find a way to not be consumed by the experience, but to allow it to keep flowing in a way that we can begin looking at the meaning and letting that meaning define us as we move forward. And I fully believe with all my heart, and I know I know that you know that I've said this before, that those moments and how we respond to them and what we get from them, whether it's from our inner being or other insights that we get, give us clues to who we really are. And the goal in the end always is to make that reconnection to what I call paradise rediscovered. So stick with it, whatever it is. If I can help you, I am so happy to do that. We've got coaching available at drmarkarcuri.com right now in the month of April. If you're listening to this today or in the next couple of weeks, we've got, or next week or so, I guess, we've got 25% off our Spring Has Sprung special on coaching, including the already discounted coaching packages. If you want to book more time than just one session, the 25% will be taken off that in addition to the percent that's already taken off if you commit to a package. So do that. The coaching is virtual. It's by phone. It's by video. It's however you want. It doesn't matter where you are and where I am to make that happen. What else? Free resources at drmarkacuri.com, as I said, and other things that you can glean from our social media postings at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you can catch us. So take advantage of that stuff, and no matter what, use it. Let us know. Give me the feedback. Make comments there. Email. You can email from the website real easily and ask questions and sign up for coaching. I mean, that's what I do. That's what I absolutely love. And when this workshop launches, if you're local, if you're nearby, you care to come in for it, I would so be happy to have you do that. So we'll let you know. So thank you so much again. And be sure when you're at drmarkacuri.com or on Facebook, be sure to click on the tabs that you'll see and sign up for our free monthly giveaways. The monthly giveaway this month will be for two winners, a copy of our brand new Life Aligned audiobook, which will be launching within the next couple of weeks, and you'll each get a copy of that. So sign up for that contest, and then next month we'll be announcing another one. I don't know what it is yet, but we will. So lots and lots and lots of love and gratitude from Santa Fe, New Mexico this evening. I so appreciate you watching and you being there, and anything that I can do to facilitate your process and your rediscovery of who you really are, just give us a shout out and we will make it happen no matter what that means. Be well. Thank you. Ciao.